What's the official name?
The name is Complex Simplicity, the podcast.
Whenever I hear wet weave, I smell it.
You guys mandate? No, you don't do mandations? All right, good. All right.
I gotta give you one of those Morris best life. And you may become an inspiration for somebody to do something different that they would originally thought of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the greatest podcast. Boys and Giz, welcome. What is it? Mel, what's the name? What's the official name?
The name is Complex Simplicity, the podcast.
Complex Simplicity, the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know how you forgot it. How you forgot? So we've been talking about
focus,
this.
bro.
Okay,
focus. Jordan.
All right.
Focus. All right. So my name is Freeze International. I'm an international touring DJ based here in New York City, Brooklyn, to be exact. Going to my left, we got
Mel Vibes, better known as Mel Vibes. I'm a little bit of everything: entrepreneur, comedian, singer, dad. I was a stripper at one point, but the money started to become because the pandemic hit. So a lot of things. I do a lot of things.
So you lost your stripping job during the pandemic? Isn't that when you're supposed to?
No, the COVID thing. I became real skeptical with the COVID thing, and I couldn't do the dances with the mask on. So I let it go. I focused on other things.
And we're walking.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
To his left, we got.
And I am Vladimir Bartholomew Thelonious Rasputin Slocum Calix III. I don't know what's going on here.
I love it.
What?
I love
Vladimir Bartholomew Thelonious Rasputin Slocum Calix III, also known as Haitian V, also known as Just Vlad, also known as Morris Bestnet, or is also known as.
I gotta give me one of those Morris Bestnet.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a porn
That's
name.
when I was gonna try. I was very experimental. I'm writing material on that too. I was very experimental.
Morris Bestnet.
I tried
That's a
porn. I
great
tried
porn
stripping.
name.
You tried porn and you tried stripping.
Yeah, I dead ass tried stripping though. I dead ass did that. I shot the flyer for the porn. I never went through with it because it was supposed to be comedic porn, and nobody understood like, yo, what's comedic porn? I was like, I don't know. I just want to try it, and none of the girls wanted to do it. So it was that. I had a lady at the time, and she wasn't with it.
Damn.
Well, I'm saying at the time. At the time, my lady knew it. She wasn't with it, and yeah. But I definitely did strip to pay senior dues in high school.
Wow. I have so many questions. So
you
you stripped. Hold on. You stripped senior year in high school.
In one day.
Explain. I gotta hear the
One
story.
day.
You gotta hit. This is gonna be
At
the
a
greatest podcast ever. I gotta hear the story.
At a club.
Go.
So I go to I went to Grady High School, and at the end of the year, everybody has to pay senior dues, in order to get a book bag with a yearbook and that type of shit. And my mom was struggling Haitian woman in Flatbush by herself, and me, I always tried to at least. Not that she sent me, but I felt it upon myself. Like, let me try to work and take the load off my mom. So I was packing bags. I was working at Blimpies. I was doing mad shit. And senior dues that came up, and I was like, yo, damn.
First, how much were your senior dues? Do you remember?
I think it was like 146 or something like that. It was a weird number.
All right, so
it was a weird number.
All right,
150. Let's say 150.
All right, go ahead.
So 150, I'm like, all right, cool. If I go pack bags or do this, and when I'm gonna get it, I'll get it by this day. And I'm like, yo, I'm thinking like some TV shit. I'm like, yo, I should just go strip. I should just go strip and get this over with.
So it was a club you went to?
Yeah.
At night?
So it was an amateur night?
Yeah, amateur night. I Googled it. You Googled it. I Googled it. I printed out the MapQuest. Would take the train to.
That's how old you know he is. MapQuest.
Take the train.
Okay.
You print out the MapQuest. You take the train. It would tell you car, bus, train, everything.
Facts.
I know that.
I pulled out. I did the transit one, and it tells you what to do. Take this bus to this, and then whatever. It takes me to the city in like the 50s or something. I had to take the C train, and then So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do this. I ain't telling nobody though, because
I can understand.
Because when I told people I would do stuff, they were like, man, Vlad, whatever. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, yeah, all right. So I do all my shit, do my research. I go.
What was your entrance music?
peaches and cream.
Oh,
And went
my.
boom,
No, you a Brooklyn
boom,
nigga.
boom, boom,
Oh, we know
and,
it. We
yo,
know
nigga,
it.
I was doing the butterfly and everything.
So,
So
I
was.
Oh my
No, you do the butterfly. I was doing the butterfly, and I put my hands behind. I put my hands behind my neck.
Terrible.
I put my hands behind my neck. I'm doing the butterfly.
How long
and
did
I
it take?
peeped like deodorant. Like let's do it. Like, put my hand down. And this and that, this and that.
Oh, my. How many people was in the club?
It was a couple women, but they were all white women.
Okay.
And one black woman.
All
and she
right.
was happy because she was like, "Yeah, finally some
young
some
meat.
change in here." I'm like,
Change. How
What the
often you
fuck
fuck
Listen,
is
here?
Grandma,
this?
take it easy,
What are you
Grandma.
doing?
"Yeah."
Oh,
so she
so
did
how,
that.
how long did it take you to pick your outfit? What outfit did you pick?
I wore my because I
You
was
didn't wear
like,
your school uniform, did you?
I wore my track. I ran track and field. I wore my track shorts. My track and field. It was burgundy, but it was shiny.
You can't make this up.
They were burgundy,
Can't
but
make
they
this
were
up.
shiny. But they were short. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do this stripping shit.
Did you have socks up? The socks?
I had
the
socks.
high socks?
I had socks and diesel sneakers.
Oh, my God.
Them diesel sneakers.
Those are the-
Oh, what kind of
those are-
outfit is this,
those are
bro?
like the-
there was
the-
no
the
leather.
I thought it was just
leather.
stripping. I didn't, think it all the way through. But I was just
Okay.
like, yo, I'm gonna take off my clothes. But you got to remember that, if you're stripping, you go on with a fit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, yo, I'm gonna just go on with my track. my
And then
track
come off
shit,
in your drawers.
and just
or
come off. And I
or
was
you
like,
plan
yo,
to be naked.
I prepared myself though, because I was like,
So
yo,
all the way
maybe
on the
if I-
C train into the city, you told yourself, I'm gonna show my balls to this crowd
When you look at it like that.
I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
wait as long as possible
before you pull your junk out.
before I do. Hopefully the song ends before then.
What-
So I practiced.
you were
I
willing.
practiced-
You were willing to do it. You were willing
I
to pull the junk out.
practiced like
in your mind.
so. The butterfly was supposed to take like more time. Like it was supposed to go butterfly, one leg, one other leg, and then go back to the butterfly. But then I peeped the
deodorant.
and I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm,
wasn't
like, doing
prepared. You
stuff.
got to do the clear. So now you
And then
now
it
you
just
turned
threw
it.
off. It threw me off. So I'm just saying, okay, I gotta slowly like take down my shorts and shit.
They were cheering you at this point. Were they cheering
Women,
you?
what? All women give dollars, bro. All white women give money.
All right, so how much did you end up making?
$112.
Ooh,
right,
okay. So
all
what?
right,
It's
all
about
right. Fun night.
78% of the way, 79% of the way.
And then 3 days later, the school decided, all right, we're gonna give everybody chocolates to sell so you could pay.
So you didn't even need to do all that.
So you pulled
boy.
your dick out for no reason.
3 days later.
Nothing. Come on.
3 days later, like, yeah,
Oh.
you can sell all this chocolate, and the money you make
Will
would
go
be
to your
go to
P's
your
You're
and
sitting
CDs.
there like,
I'm
womp, womp, womp.
hell no, because by then,
Come on.
I
So
got
you sold 4 chocolate bars and you was good.
no.
You didn't tell none. What'd you do?
I sold chocolate. I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep the money. But by
obviously.
then, by the time they was like, oh yeah, we could sell chocolate, I was down to $83.
Chipping away at it. Bacon, egg, and cheese here.
Word, cheese
Hero-
fries at
hero
the chicken
hair.
shack.
He said, I worked hard for
Yeah,
this.
man.
I'm going to eat well.
I very much
Shit.
experimented a lot of no homo shit, but no.
Nah, you good. You good. You good. Wow.
That's
You learn something new every day. That is how we started this podcast.
You
So
learn some things.
Vlad was a stripper for about
Yeah, man.
4.5 hours.
Got you. So
I'm proud of you, bro.
My
You
name
tried.
was Slim Jim.
I'm guessing this name was created on the C train as well.
Nah, I was a skinny guy. And then it was like amateur night, so I'm thinking, no, damn, I
Slim
don't know.
Jim, no?
Yeah, because I was like skinny.
Not Slim Rock, Slim Slim Jim.
I had the name Slick Vic. And I was like, what the hell is that? I was like,
That's
nah.
Haitian.
It sounded like,
That's
it sounded like some Italian nigga was supposed to come up with like muscles and shit. And then I got there, and
Forget
I was the
about
only
it.
amateur that night, actually.
Really?
Only amateur, and then other niggas was like,
So did
Those
anybody
strippers?
try to like, oh my God, you're pretty good at this. You should try
no,
to do
no,
it.
no.
Everybody was like, get the
out.
fuck off the
I was
stage.
out. By the time I was like, yeah, pick up that bread, get the bread. I'm like, all right. And then I'm looking at him like, yo, nobody else? And like, nah, you were the only guy. I'm like, and then I'm looking at the regulars, and the regulars, like, they look like regular niggas. Like, they look like regular, like this nigga work at T-Mobile, and then he off his shift, and then he just went to the club like,
Work at Walgreens, my boy. What are you talking about?
The night shift manager at Walgreens.
you know,
Amazon
stripping niggas at least be
Usually
like, yo,
bulky
bulky,
and-
you know,
Yeah.
cut a little bit. average looking niggas.
You went to the regular
You
club.
just took off your tool belt
and came
to your second shift.
Straight from Con Edison, straight here.
This is his child support money he paid.
Off the books money that the law don't know about. And that nigga's taking it.
Oh man, it just
we've all done something for the dollars.
Not me. I ain't do nothing crazy like y'all. I did do the bag packing thing. I worked in the local Pioneer grocery store, and I was pretty lit at it. Like
you were good at it. You were actually.
I had shifts for packing bags. Yeah, I was pretty good. What do you mean? I was lit.
I was lit. Shifts in what?
I packed bags so much. I was in the grocery store every day.
I was one of those guys too.
Every day.
I was one of those
I had
guys.
my favorite cashier. She loved me. I loved her.
I just worked together perfectly.
I had a little Dominican cashier too.
And when she was off, then I went to Rosa. It was a whole situation until the grocery store actually hired me, and then I became the guy packing the aisles and shit.
You didn't like that. You didn't like
and I
that
hated
much.
that.
You didn't
Stock
like that.
boy.
Yeah, it became a stock boy.
You wanted to be where the action was.
I mean, surprisingly enough, I made more money packing bags than being an official employee.
Yeah, I got you.
In my supermarket.
And them old ladies love deliveries.
Yeah.
Push
when
that cart
take their cart to their crib, right?
Yeah, push that
It
cart.
slide you like $10. Like,
Wow.
But all my deliveries lived in the projects, and I hated those
how
pissy
old were
elevators.
you packing bags.
I was a teenager, 15, 16, something like that.
Damn,
14.
Nah, I was younger than that.
You was younger than that.
I was like,
I ain't
11 packing bags.
It was at this
so.
point in my life when my mother was like, "Well, listen, if you want sneakers and you want this, that, and the third, figure it out."
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, So I wasn't going to sell drugs and do all that. So I went down and started packing bags.
Where would you start?
What, to sell drugs?
Yeah, like,
I don't know.
Yo,
Like,
man.
I see you selling this crack out here.
Word.
You need an apprentice? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if you're hiring. Not at all. I'm looking for something on the weekend.
Is there an application? I got 8 hours a week to spare. What's up?
And you tell the dude like, yo, I can only do it from like 3
to like 5:30 to
3 to 8:30 because
I got hustle rocks from like 3 to 6.
And in summertime, I might be able to go 8:45. You know, because the lights.
The lights is a little darker, but anything beyond that, I
but nah,
do
I was
you
always
mandate? You guys
paranoid.
mandate? No, you don't do mandations. All right, good. All right, good because I can't get stuck. My mom's. That's pretty much.
Drugs wasn't my thing, so I did the grocery thing. My first real job outside of because the supermarket thing was kind of like off the books. So my first real job was I worked for a movie theater on 42nd. You know the AMC Empire. I was I was in the first hiring class in that movie theater when it opened.
They gave
proud
you a
of that.
certificate.
Yeah, well, I got a certificate. I was.
They really did. I was like,
No,
what?
they didn't give me a certificate, but it was just it is what it is. And I actually got that job by accident.
Hopefully, you got a picture somewhere because in like 50 years, I'm like,
I got
this
memories.
is when it first opened.
I got
And
memories.
This is free. You know, they always find like a public figure and they be like, yo,
Facts.
look, this nigga used to work at Subway.
I was a security guard. I did dollar van and cab.
You might want to talk into the mic.
I did a little bit of everything.
Dollar van? What? The
Dollar
guy
You
that
drove the dollar van, or the guy that held the door?
That
I
pulled the
drove
string.
He was the door guy.
My sister's ex-boyfriend or boyfriend at the time had these Lincoln Town cars. He drove taxi and all that, but it was like
He was African, wasn't he?
Nah, he was a Guyanese dude. I forgot his name. Floyd.
Back in the day, they
I
never
forget
used to
he's
go
Guyanese.
outside of there. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's the reality, all right? So he's dating this dude. He's got these Lincoln Town cars, but they were always like nice. They were always nice on nice wheels and shit. It was one of those Lincoln Town cars. So he bought a new one and needed me to go pick up the old one. So I drove the old one for him back to where we were going. I was like, yo, so can I drive this? Can I drive it around? I just needed a car to go pick
At
girls
this point,
up.
like, did you have a legit license?
Yeah, I know I had a license.
Oh, okay.
I had no money and no car. I had
Okay.
no money and no car. So I was like, he's like, if you want to drive it around for a little bit, you can drive it around. I was like, cool. So I'm driving. I picked the girl up, dropped her downtown Brooklyn, and somebody waved me as I was about to go back home. And so they waved the car. I'm like, the hell you waving the car? He's like, hey, are you going down to such and such? I was
He
like,
didn't even know he was a cab
yeah,
driver.
I didn't think about
He
that.
didn't even know
You
he was
don't
a cab
remember. You don't remember
Yeah,
that
I'm like,
I'm driving
I'm
a
driving a
Lincoln
town
Town car.
In what year was this? It had to be in the 90s.
Nah, this
90s?
is 2000.
How old do you think he is?
Oh, he's at least 44. He's at least 44.
Okay, well, that made me feel better. Okay, thank you. Nah, but yo, listen, I legit made some good money hustling. I was on. I did a run to Church Avenue. I did a run to Utica.
At what point are you going to talk into the microphone, bro?
You know something? You're right.
At what point?
You're right. This is. Forgive me here. Forgive me here. I talk a little. My voice still.
There we go.
Yeah, but I legit made like $160 a night. I made a legit dollar van. Yeah,
that's not bad. How many hours though?
I used to just work at night because I didn't want nobody to see me.
How many hours at night?
4,
8, 12.
Like 4 hours. I would do a run up and down Church Avenue.
160 in 4 hours.
Yeah. But I would do dollar van and cab. Like if they wanted.
That's slow.
Yeah, that's slow.
That's slow.
That's slow.
Okay.
But I would do dollar van.
I thought that was good.
I would do dollar cab.
Was it when it was $1? Then
it was $1.
But I'm not even thinking about it. I forgot the fact that you said it was $1 van. I'm thinking.
Then you good then.
It was.
A lot of
time.
I'm thinking a regular cab.
Or maybe like $1.25 or something like that. They pay. But I only if it was like
so
give me $1.
You said Lincoln Town Car. That's a
Town
small one.
Nah, the Lincoln Town Car's a taxi.
Lincoln Town Car's a regular taxi.
Yeah, so people did dollar cabs.
Yeah,
I'm thinking a dollar van when you can fit 12 people in that.
The van goes on the main roads, like the big roads. Like you ain't gonna see the
Flatbush.
So you was a regular taxi, and it's only $1.
And it was the dollar cab down Church Avenue. And if somebody wanted,
so you only went down Church, up and down Church.
It depends. I would go up. I did Avenue D. I did a run to Avenue D. I did the whole thing.
Those are where the cabs go. The vans themselves are on the main roads, like
Flatbush and Utica.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to get to it. I was in school. I had to get to it. So listen, this was gonna be
160. So how many nights a week you did that?
I only had the car for like a good 2 weeks. So I did it for like 4 nights a week. 4 nights a week. And the lowest I ever come on was like $70. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's not bad. That's a good little hustle.
Yeah,
especially when you're young.
Especially when you're young.
And it's legal, somewhat.
But then I would try to pick girls up in that I picked out. Like I would try to pick up, and it just wasn't worth. They were like, "Yo, just drop me with 2 of them."
When you're young, you get $170. That shit is
gone in a day.
No,
if you're an adult, gone.
You get an adult $170. Like, the hell you giving me this pocket change for?
But when you're young, I used to get paid and literally say I got $200 on my check. $175 went to buying records at JW on Church.
That shit's still open too for some reason.
I think they're selling weed in there, but I don't know. But
so wait,
ain't nobody buying records.
How long you been DJing, Freeze? How long you been a DJ? Tell us.
So you want the whole story?
Give us a little time.
So I started DJing when I was like young, like 5, 6. So my father used to throw house parties in his house all the time. And so it was back in the day when the DJ was actually in the room and you couldn't see him. So you were in the living room or whatever, and everybody partying and that, but you couldn't see the DJ. So since I'm so young, I'm not partying. I'm in the room with the DJ or in my room playing video games or whatever. So I would always stop playing video games to go in the room and see the DJ doing his thing, and I was extremely interesting to me. So I was like, and it wasn't a thought to, I want to make this a career or want to do it, but it was just like, this is awesome what he's doing. The fact that he's controlling all these people and they're having an amazing time in their life, and he's just in here, and he has his whole system. He had records on the bed. It was like everywhere. So my father had this huge record collection, and I'd play with it. So anyway, long story short, the DJ that he always hired on this particular night that he had this house party got drunk and passed out on the bed. So I was like, oh, well, the party got to continue. So
how old are you?
I was 6. I was 6.
You hear these stories like, yeah, my kid was 5. He built us a castle in Thailand. Like, what? Just him, 5 years old? Like, yeah. This nigga held down a whole grown party.
6 years
so my
old.
first, literally, I was nervous as shit. The first record I put on, it was a Baron record, and I put it on. But remember, I've been playing records with my father all the time.
And it's calypso music. So
yeah, it's all calypso.
You don't need no transition to be in.
But you do, because remember back in the day, parties was to be, the basis of a house party is you don't want that break because you jamming somebody's daughter and ting, you know?
Nice.
And there was no talking back in the day, so it was about the transition. It was about the smoothness. So luckily I had learned that, but I never really did it in a real life situation. So I'd do it on this one particular night, and the first one was a little shaky, but I got through the first transition. Cool. So now I got to find another record. Put it on the next side, boom, 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 transition. I'm there for about half hour before my father walks in. He's like, where Brian? I'm like, Brian right here sleeping. He said, he slapped Brian, trying to wake up Brian. Brian ain't waking up. Brian like, and passes back out. So he's like, who been playing the music? I said, me. He's like, nah. He's like, what, you have a Styles? He said, so my first DJ name was Styles, literally. And I went with that for about, and actually until he died, and then that's when I became Freeze International. Blah, blah, blah,
Imagine
blah.
WhatsApp that during that time.
Boy.
How much people would have had videos of your 6-year-old
Boy.
ass
Viral.
and
boy.
a drunk nigga next to you, and you.
You'd have been viral, boy. But a lot of questions would have been asked. So why is he at a party where?
Yeah, this is bad parenting. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
Because I think everybody's
West Indies.
parents did the same
House
type
parties.
of shit
Probably.
back in the day.
Yeah, that's
you
true, that's
you
true.
danced with grown ass women back in the day.
Facts.
Just the
He was
little
around
girl.
alcohol and all this
Bruh,
when you wasn't supposed
Your
to be.
first taste of alcohol was not when you was 21 years old. If
not
you're
at all.
Caribbean,
Everybody
it's not
sipped. Everybody
21
sipped
years
early.
old.
Facts.
We all sipped
So
early.
a lot of the things that like that would be familiar. Like say you'd be like I don't think that would fly right now. If you told a lot of parents like I left my kid at the house and I gave him these instructions, everybody tell you the same instructions.
Yeah.
Don't
I heard
touch-
parents
Don't
give
touch
their
your
kids
stove. Don't
brandy
go to the door.
to calm them down.
Or to put them to sleep.
Haitians do that when you're
Rub it on the gums. When they're teething.
Put it on the rub it on the gums.
Look, he's good now. It's like he's not good. He's drunk. It's a child, so that's why. It's like
You're fucking him up, but
yeah,
whatever.
He's
He's
good.
quiet
Look
now.
at him. Dude, he's not crying no more. He's not crying because he's drunk sleep. Nigga ain't waking up till
he's in a
tomorrow
coma, my boy.
afternoon.
And he's gonna have a hangover.
Word.
Change his diaper.
While
Give him
they're
a
like,
Tylenol. He has a hangover.
Put the blanket in. Yeah, put the blanket.
Kid
Come here,
diarrhea,
put the
yo.
blanket for you get cool. You want to get
Word.
Yo,
Yo, that kid is coming up with because this is stuff that's never been in his body ever.
Facts. This is not
Pureeing
supposed to
that
mix
word.
with the Similac. I don't know what's
Pureeing
going
that.
on here.
So now you become a DJ at 6.
Well,
You-
yeah, so
you
I started,
essentially-
I got my first taste of it, and it's like super intriguing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know anything about anything. So I'm just collecting this, that, and the third.
It's your birth control pills alarm. Go ahead.
I'm clearly not using those because I
Gotcha.
have a child. So
Congratulations.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right, on your
so
big son.
yeah, so I get a little older. Obviously, I'm in high school now. Now in high school is when I started collecting CDs and my own record collection and blah 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 blah. Did my first real club when I was like 15, so I got a taste for that. Now I'm out with the youths and da 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 da. But I still wasn't into it, right? So it wasn't until I went to college that I was like, I gotta DJ. It's just like it's been in me, and it's just. I got to get it out. So it's like, all right, cool. So I'm in college now. I went to Ohio State.
You went
So
to Ohio State. Oh, Buckeye. Good.
the Ohio
The
State.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Ohio State Buckeye.
yeah, Buckeyes. So I went there, and obviously I'm like the only black kid. If you're not on a sports team, the basketball or the football team, you're pretty much the only black guy out there.
Oh wow.
So had to deal with that. But it was more reggae, more hip hop, more that.
Okay.
There was no soca being played. And if it was Kevin Little Turn Me On, and that was that.
Or Rupee.
That was that. It was no soca. When I tell you no soca being played, no soca. Like everybody knew every Sean Paul and Beanie Man song, but no soca was being played whatsoever. Yeah. So I just adapted. I deal with it, blah, 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 blah. But so I graduated college, and then I moved to Florida, but I was just like, the DJ thing was still a hobby. I had a regular day job. It still wasn't. I was like, fuck this. I can't. I gotta. So I was like, I'm going to move home, and I'm going to make it in Brooklyn. And I did that in 2007. Yeah, 2000. The day before Thanksgiving, 2007. And 2008 is when people started hearing me. I was still Styles at the time. So there's an actual Styles movements in Brooklyn. Everybody knows him. He's a legend.
I heard the name.
Right. Mm-hmm. So when I started coming up, people used to call him and be like, oh, you doing this bullshit? Right? He's like, no. Because he was kind of transitioning out, and I was transitioning up. So one day, finally, I'm bubbling, and he calls me like, yo, I see you doing your thing, but, you got to change your name. I'm like, that's not happening. It's not happening. So we get into it, like.
Your dad gave you his name, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not. And the funny thing is, Styles is a very generic DJ name. There's a million and one of those names, right? But it's like Spice, right? But it had sentimental value to me. Now, the time we're having this conversation about me potentially changing my name, which was in my mind, I was dead set. I was like, bro, you're going to have to kill me. I'm not changing my name. Fuck you. I don't know who you are like that. Like, I'm not changing my name. Ironically now, 3 months later, my dad passes away. Right? And I'm sitting in his funeral with my family and cousins and all this stuff, and they're like, his DJ name was D Freeze or Deep Freeze, right? So everybody was like, well, we got to do something for him because he was, he wasn't a great DJ or anything like that, but he had a love for music. So I was like, well, ironically, I hated his name, but for whatever reason, I was all in on making his name into a legacy. So I was like, what can we do? So I was like, how about we drop the Deep, take the Freeze, and add international to it, because this has to be a global thing if it's going to become a legacy. Mm-hmm. So said, so done. 2 weeks later, I made it an LLC, turned into a company. So now I'm DJ Styles of Freeze International. But then all my cousins dropped out, and it's literally just me. So I was like, so I can't be having two names. Mm-hmm. So literally everybody just started calling me Freeze. So I was just like, I'm going to stop calling myself Styles. And that's when I became Freeze International.
That's dope. That's dope for the fact that you did it for the reason that you did it for, and held on and wanted to hold the name for the reason you held it for.
Nah. If anybody ever calls Styles, he'll tell you the same thing. Like, yeah, Freeze was like, he wasn't going to change his name. But
he probably got wind of it like, you're better.
You're lucky your father died.
You're what? You're lucky your father died.
Yeah, lucky. How could you say
wait till I'm done grieving. I got to kill you.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of my story. I want to know how you get into comedy. Both of you guys, actually. I want to know how both of you guys got into comedy.
How you get into comedy, Vlad? I want to know how you got into
comedy. Wait, hold on. You're the reason we're here, and you're not even speaking.
No, well, we're all the reason we're here. So I got into comedy. Stop touching my mic. Don't touch my mic. Don't have my mic in front of me. No, I got into comedy, honestly, for the same kind of sentimental reason you did.
Your dad died?
No, I don't know. No, not I said not that reason, but no. So I've been making people laugh. I've always found joy in making people laugh for some reason. It was a way for me to not be upset. You know, when you got family, they always pick on you when you're the youngest one, and you can't cry because they're gonna beat you up. If you cry and you complain, you're gonna get beat up. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn how to toughen up.
So you lived in an abusive family?
No, okay. So wow,
gotcha.
Yeah, this is
Marlon Jackson.
So
you're Marlon Jackson.
What is left again? They call me Randy. They call me Tito, boy.
That's what I would have led with. So Tito, continue. Go ahead.
You stupid.
Now, go ahead.
You stupid. No, and I always had the ability to make people laugh, and that was always something I thought I wanted to do. But when I told my mother, I was like, hey, so I think about maybe one day I want to be. Don't want that bullshit. You best go and learn something else. I was like, all right. And I always was like, if I had, when you have kids, you find this, if you can find a skill set and hone in on it and let them focus on that, you never know where it could take them. You know what I mean? And I always wish from younger I had that kind of a push to do it. So I ended up just never really paying it no mind. I just know I had the ability, and then it worked because in order to speak to women, I could make them laugh. All jokes aside, like I'm not even being funny, but in order to, it was a great way to engage in conversations and start up conversations.
So your comedy career came out of trying to get pussy.
All right, and let's go to commercial. And Mills, you can
that was gonna be my response.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you still recording, Mills? Thanks for the help, big bro.
Keep it rolling.
So no, and then I eventually went to school. I went to radiology school. That's what I do. And once I was done, I had kids. And when I had kids, it dawned on me that the culture that is going to influence my kid is being led by people that I didn't feel should be leading my kids to have a say in their role model ability. And if anybody's going to be or have an impact on them, the greatest impact on them, it should be me as a man, as their father figure in their life. Okay. All right. If I have the ability now to tell them you could do anything you put your mind to, I need to step to the plate the same way. Let me do something that I believe in and show them, almost be an example. Like, yo, you could do it being yourself. I'm not trying to be nobody else. I'm being myself. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Okay. So what was your first video?
My first video was honestly it was like an animal voiceover or something, or like a Steve Harvey. When they accused Steve Harvey of something with Miss America or something like that, right? It was,
when he
read the wrong name,
wrong name or something like that. I did a video just as a response to it on Instagram. Before that, me and my partner here, Millennial, we were doing Caribbean comedy when it was just on Facebook, when Facebook was just for colleges. When Facebook wasn't for everybody. You had to have a college address, email address, and we was doing stuff like that and put on YouTube. But I didn't think it could go anywhere, and so I just kind of didn't fill it off. Even I met Vlad through trying to do comedy. Initially through the way we're doing it. He was at the time, he had the Haitian V thing sparking. Haitian V. I mean, like everybody was like, yo, who is this dude? And
when I met you, I didn't want to do it anymore.
Boy, I was
really.
I was. Oh,
but
I've been over this.
He was just
really?
he was live with it.
Hold on, we get to that.
He was live with it. So I did that, and then we put it down, went back to school, and came back to it. And once I had kids, I realized, you know what? Let me go at it and attack it the right way. Let me attack it and be an example. And the first video I did was okay, and then I did a couple more, and then I did one with diabetes or something like that.
Some of these videos is hilarious.
And it kind of started taking off from there. And then once I saw what it could do, I realized I wanted to build a legacy. When you said the word legacy, I thought that was important. And if I'm gonna leave this planet and leave my kids at whatever point it is, whatever age they are, I want them to have a legacy attached to their name that can either financially benefit them, because it's, we know what system we're living on. So they need to be financially, number one, prepared, financially literate, financial, all these things. So as much as we're teaching our kids that, I'm teaching myself parts of it to make sure they understand it, so they have not advantage, but they understand how to play the chess.
How to play the game.
How to play the chess game the right way. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's really legit why Mel Vibes is sitting here today.
So we talked about your first video. What was your most successful or most viewed video so far?
To this point, it's been the Black Men Don't Cheat video.
The one where Shorty comes up to dance with you, you be like,
come to dance with me, and I was just like, Swiss.
and that probably wasn't even. It was probably impromptu. Like,
did you plan that? Did you put that together?
Let me tell you what happened. I went to the party. Right, I got to the party. It was a wet fit. I didn't even feel like going out that night. It was hot as shit. And when I got there, it smelled like wet weave and makeup. I swear to Christ. It smelled like straight wet. I was like, what am I doing?
Disappointment and
whenever
despair.
I hear wet weave, I smell it.
Yeah.
I could smell it.
It was
freeze. It was July. It was like the hottest day in July, and it was a literal water party. Okay, so
half them girls don't bathe. So yeah.
Wow.
Is there something I need to know about the soca community?
Whoa, how are we reducing this to soca?
No. Well, your majority is soca. Are we not clear on that?
Soca girls, a lot of dance hall gets played in Wet Fed, please.
Oh, dance hall. Okay.
A lot of dance hall gets played in Wet Fed.
Wet Fed is a
No, so basically, a lot of girls that look nice in there some of them don't be.
A lot of new age Caribbean girls.
So I'm in there, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I got to do something while I'm here because it's a great opportunity. Let me just film something. I seen one decent girl in the party. I was like, you know what? If I get the opportunity to talk to her,
out of all these women, you saw one?
Just one that up to the standard that I felt. You know what? Let me associate with myself on film.
Gotcha.
And I saw it, and I said, if I get a chance to have a conversation, I'm gonna say, you wanna do a video real quick? And literally like 10 minutes later, she happened to walk right around in front of me. And I tapped her, hey, so you wanna film something? She's like, okay, sure. I was like, all right.
Did she think?
This is how porn starts.
Yeah, I was about to
say. That's literally. Hey,
usually it's film the something? Casting couch, but don't ask me how I know.
All right, well, your resume is really good. Let's see what your
Bang Bros Productions.
Terrible. Absolutely.
That's new porn.
And it went from there.
I'm more booty talk guy.
Onionbooty.com.
Booty talks.
Onionbooty.com. Y'all remember onionbooty.com?
Wow.
Boy, my mother catch that on my computer, boy. It was headaches. Boy.
I love how he just interjects the Guyanese when he gets caught.
What?
Wanking.
Yeah, boy.
Terrible.
So
Terrible.
Yeah, that was my most successful.
So she was with it.
Oh, yeah, she was with it. I told her exactly what to do. I said, hey, this is what you do.
Did she have to sign an NDA or?
No, I didn't make her sign anything.
Okay.
I didn't make her sign anything. Smart young lady. Hopefully we'll do some more videos in the future. But
that everybody else will see, or?
Oh man,
I'm just. Wow. She had a booty.
The mic is on.
She had a booty. So
she had a mic is on.
Asking.
I don't know one thing that I have learned as my name is coming up. I try not to put my name out there with as beautiful as women are. I try to stay I kind of stay away.
So you don't shit where you eat.
I've done that a few times, and I made some.
So you don't shit where you eat
drastic
anymore?
mistake. Yeah, I stop. It's getting messy quick. So one thing I don't do, and I feel like as black men, especially, the first thing that they do to bring us down is
we're gonna have a whole episode on black men don't cheat.
Oh yeah,
but,
we're gonna have.
we'll
So I tried to, I tried to limit my contact as beautiful as the women are. You're not worth me losing the empire that I'm trying to build.
Good luck with that, bro.
It's hard though. Freeze. I ain't gonna like it, boy. I ain't gonna like that though.
Yo.
It's hard.
I recently got engaged, and more
How is
women
that?
are DMing
How is
me.
that? Let's talk about that. We ain't talk about that.
No. Before we
Congratulations,
get
my
to
brother.
that, we're going in order. Before we get to that,
all right.
we got to talk to Vlad and find out where he started, because this is our
I'm
first
excited,
initial.
Because I'm thinking we're gonna have a bachelor party and everything, man.
Got you excited?
Not pause.
That's gonna happen in Colombia, but we're gonna talk about that another time.
It's a great way to learn history. The Afro-Colombian community. It's a great way to learn a little about history and our roots and freeze. As we go down there, what we can do, we can turn into a cultural trip, an actual cultural extravaganza where we learn
Can
a
you
little
put the
about history.
camera? Listen,
learn
we
a little
ain't
bit about
going
history.
nowhere on my bachelor party or bachelor weekend for no historical shit. We going there to drink and act up.
Well, culturally, Haiti has inspired the Colombian flag. So,
There's that. There's that.
Free, I could come to a bachelor party for you.
Yeah, inside. I behaving. Or they could act like hoes.
No, I'm a
watch.
I'm an ordained minister, so I can't take in none of that.
I would like to go there for the cultural experience only. I would only go to the Colombia where the women are for the cultural experience, nothing else, and the historical landmarks that they have there because the Spanish colonized
we get it.
that.
You want to fuck.
All right, wow. All right, good.
So Vlad, Haitian V, let's hear your story. How did you get into comedy? I first came across who you are or your presence in the event Compa meets Soca, right? So right before that, I've heard of you, but I never really met you, right? So I met you in that forum, and then you happened to MC my brother's wedding. Don't know how that came about, but that worked out, and so we got to work together. So let everybody know how. All right, so how did you get into this? Like, how did it start? At what age?
Same, young, pretty young. I was probably 6 also. I don't know. No, was I 6 though? I probably was, dude. This is
great things happens when you're
June
6.
18th, 1991.
You remember the day and the year.
1990.
Okay.
So I was 6. Matter of fact.
Wow, you were 6 in 1990.
June 18th.
You were 28 in 90.
Go ahead. I was engaged.
Yeah, we're going to Coney Island. Going to Coney Island. I remember my godmother was my daycare. One of my godmothers was my daycare center teacher. Like my mom made this Jamaican woman my godmother because it was like that's who I was. She would educate me, but it was like we were inseparable. Like she couldn't go to doctor's visits
without you,
without me. I couldn't be without this woman. So it just ended up being like an everyday thing. So I think we were going to Coney Island, and I said this Pee Wee Herman joke, like Pee Wee is going cuckoo or something. Yeah, Pee Wee is going cuckoo, and then the whole bus laughed. It was a van, but the whole bus laughed. And then this one particular girl, she was laughing and looking back, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this again. Pee Wee is going cuckoo, and it happened again. I'm like, wow. Finally, something that makes people like, like in school, you relate things to the students, like, oh, that's Kenneth, he always has the good snacks, or that's Jeffrey, he always has the fly sneakers, and that's just Vlad. It's like
Vlad got the jokes.
Yeah, Vlad really didn't have the jokes. Well, it was like.
Were you labeled a class clown or something like that?
Every school I went to.
Too much socializing. I used to get that shit on my report
every school
card.
I went to. Every
socializing.
Every every place I went to. I mean, it's sometimes you kind of like, yo, you're funny, man. You should try it. And I didn't start telling jokes, like being a comedian, until after. I'm gonna say, after, because Haitian V didn't start until like 2007.
Wow.
Haitian V started in a good music office. That damn near happened.
GOOD.
The character happened damn near by mistake.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like one night it was like some party. I worked for a celebrity photographer named Johnny Nunez, but before that, I met him working at Vibe. I was interning, and then I became an assistant, and then he took me out of Vibe to be like at all the events that Vibe talks about, because I would rather be there to try to get a connection to be the entertainer that I want to be. Like I want to be an actor, like not just a comedian that you think is just like, oh yeah, this dude is funny, but we're not gonna take him serious. I would rather be Will Smith than Kevin Hart.
Really?
Yeah.
You do know Kevin Hart makes more.
No, he doesn't.
Actually,
but
you're right.
yeah.
You'd rather be Will Smith.
I'd rather be Will Smith than Kevin Hart, or I'd rather be Chris Rock than Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, would you have rather been Will Smith during Table Talk when you found out
I don't care,
about
bro.
the
Life is life.
We
shit.
gonna get into that. They are
Life
freaks, bro.
Life is life shit.
They are freaks. He didn't
So-
get cheated on. They are freaks. Will is
They
fucking.
live
Will
some
is getting
lives.
focused.
I'm
Guys.
gonna get you back.
You saw his face. You saw that in his face. He's like, you know, fucked up, right? You know, you done
He
fucked up,
is
right?
out there.
You know, you done fucked up,
I'm gonna
right?
get I'm gonna get mine back. Right?
All right.
Yeah, so I started there. So the day after some Teray watch Dame Dash used to put out like to try to compete with Jacob. There was a party, and this was early Kanye.
When he was normal.
This is late registration Kanye. Is it late registration? Like right before late registration came out. So this is between a college dropout, late registration. He happened to come because he hung out with. He was a good. Whatever Dame did, he supported, and he would bring all the good music with him.
Nice.
But at that time, the group was called Hustle, and that was his management company. And then the following day, at the party, I met this dude, and the dude was like, "Yo, we'd say little stuff back and forth, like, yo, man," and I'll say something. He's like, "Yo, man, you mad funny, man." Like, yo, I'm like, yeah, all right. He was like, "Yo, you should come by the office." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm by the office all the time. Like, you know, what do you want to do?" He was like, "Yo, we're trying. We're putting out a DVD, and we would love for you to, you know, like, contribute some stuff." I'm like, "All right, cool." So that night after we leave the venue, everybody's getting in there, you know, their cars. They give you like a voucher that take you home, and I gotta get on the train, and the next person that has to get on the train is this dude. He lives in Brownsville. I live in Flatbush, so we both on I think it was like the 2 or 3 train from like Times Square, and then he was like, "Yo, just come tomorrow." And then he's like, "Yo, you from Brooklyn?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yo, nah, we gotta make this happen." And then the next day I go, and then they're giving us a whole bunch of like stuff, like, "Yo, we should try this. What if men were in leotards? What if this was this?" It was like, "Yo, do you have any characters?" And I'm like, "Yo, I do like this. My uncle, like, I make fun of him. Like,
I can do my family.
Yeah, I can do my family." And he's like, "Yo, let's try that. So we'll just interview you." And this was like 2004. And he's like, "Yo, do it." So they wanted to test the stuff. This is YouTube too. So they wanted to test the stuff on YouTube. So they did that, tested it on YouTube. And that's where Haitian V was created. It was just like impromptu. And after the test, they seen that the numbers of all the skits were highest on Haitian V.
Nice.
And then it never came out. Like the shit never came out.
Damn.
And then my boss from Vibe was just like, "Yo, man, this is thing that's coming out." Oh no, I got fired. Not fired, but it was just like me and dude had a riff, and I lost. I didn't work there anymore, but I was doing like industry stuff. Like, yeah, I'd go to this. I'll be you know, you're independent, so you're freelancing. So I was still a photo editor, so I'd still be at events. I see my old boss. He told me come meet him, and bro, I was like done. Like, no money. Out of college. I'm out of college. I had no money. I lived with my cousin, and dude told me, like, "Yo, why don't you try Haitian, like that character you did?" Because it went around the music industry. It just didn't go out further. He was like, "Why don't you try that?" And he was like, "Yo, just put it out every week. Put it on YouTube every week. And it's this thing called viral. Like, this is the first person that told me about viral. This is this thing called like videos going viral. and just do it every week consistently, and we'll see where we at in a year. I'm like, that's it? That's all the advice? He was like, oh, what do you want me to do? You want me to give you a job you don't want to do?
So how many did it take over before it actually went viral? How many?
My first one went viral.
Yeah.
My first video went viral.
Out the gate.
The first video I did, which was full circle, Kanye West and 50 Cent happened to be putting out an album on that day, September 11th, and it's the anniversary of September 11th, World Trade Center. And I'm like, yo, let me not be sad today, because, you know, it's like that type of weird feeling. And I put the video out, and then the first video I did, it just went, like, you see people on MySpace and like, oh my God, did you see this? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then we
How did that
brand,
feel, having a viral video?
I didn't care.
You didn't care?
About that stuff. Because it wasn't, there was no measurement of like, because no one was doing that sort of thing. Like, it wasn't like there were people around doing Caribbean stuff online. So it was like me, and I brought in this Jamaican kid that he knows too. So, and it was that, and it was just like, yo, all right, we're the only people doing it. So going viral could be like, yo, it's popular. Like, yo, 150 people said something to you today about this video. And it was like, okay. You know, you don't know, like, to where it's times of now, it's like 150,000 people can tell you, like, yo, this is crazy. So in that time, it was just still fairly new. And that's where I started. I just started doing that, and every week.
So
So did you transition that into stand up?
I always did stand up. I did stand up before I even did Haitian V. Because I was like, I always had.
So where was your? Tell me about your first ever stand up in a public place.
I cried that day too.
Before the stand up or after?
After, because my
you set bombed?
No.
Oh.
It was amazing. But weirdly, my cousin had accepted Christ as his personal savior, and it was like an emotional moment. Like, oh my God, we're in the front of the church by the pew. We're crying. I'm crying. Everybody, he was looking at me. What the hell wrong with you? You just accepted Christ.
It's awesome. Yes,
yeah, it was a church.
I don't know if you know who Christ is, but you know, he's
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
It was a church youth concert. They would like have youth concerts, and it was like, yo, I didn't want to be in church at all. I only went for I played.
Don't be like him. You went to church for the bitches. Don't be that guy. You went,
not the bitches, the young females. There's no bitches.
Nicely worded, Vlad. Nicely worded.
There's no bitches in church.
Listen, church got some of the best. Let me. I can tell you guys a story. This was one.
You go scouting at church, bro?
What? No. All right.
Those are some of the most.
Listen, you got eyes.
Freakiest women.
Oh gosh.
What?
You wonder why I became a pastor?
All right.
So we got to get to this. How? So the stand up thing, are you still doing it now?
Toured. I'm still touring. Still doing.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I don't think I'll ever do anything.
Credit where credit's due, though.
Beautiful.
Vlad is the first Caribbean comedian to actually do it the digital way. We're talking about the originator of online Caribbean comedy, and I don't think that's spoken about.
You gotta get bombs in here. I'm gonna work that out. I'm gonna work that out.
Going forward.
You gotta get bombs in there.
And I always like to give respect where respect is due.
Much love, bro.
Vlad is the originator of it, and you know, a lot of times it's not spoken about enough or given enough credit to.
Be spoken about.
It doesn't. Not about. It's
you
not
don't
about.
Want it to be spoken about.
You may not want to, but it does need to. Sometimes it does need to be said.
Like, who's the first person to create the toilet and be like, yo, we're gonna flush it down and all that stuff is not gonna be.
He deserves credit.
I bet you
he deserves credit.
I bet you he's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, but does he? You know, like, yo, that's him right there. Are we hanging this guy's picture up?
Yeah, but you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it this way, right? So we both mentioned this word legacy, right? So you started something that as you just said, nobody was doing at the time,
right?
Right. So there's gonna be not just Haitian kids. There's gonna be Guyanese kids, this, that, and the third that may come across you and say, wow. And you may become an inspiration for somebody to do something different that they would originally thought of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
So that's the dope part about it. It's not just, you doing something to make a few people laugh. It's just that you don't know what this could, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people come up to me and say, well, Freeze, because of you, I want to be a DJ. I never would have thought of that shit when I was younger. Like, who would want to look at me and become a DJ?
I'm gonna inspire somebody.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very true.
That's
What
the
I do.
dopeness of what we do.
I don't push people to this. He knows this.
Yeah.
I do not push people to want to be like me. Be you. Be the best you.
Well,
Be
not
the
even
best
so
you.
not even so
whatever
much.
you're doing, do it as with passion.
With passion.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't.
that's the word right there.
I don't invite people like you want to be a
But-
comedian. I sometimes try to discourage people from being a comedian.
Why?
Because this is a real thing.
It's hard,
It's not
too.
something to where you go viral and then you're like, well, I could cool out for a couple months now. Nah, you gotta keep at
gotta
this.
keep at it, yeah.
Like you gotta be on stage. You gotta be.
Have you done Carolines or anything like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I played Caroline. I played
This
Caroline's.
is fucking lit. Can I get this? Is lit.
Yeah, I played for the first time. Actually, I played Caroline's last year, June.
Congratulations.
June 13th, actually.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I had a Spanish woman in North Carolina, if that counts for anything. North Carolina.
How the fuck we reach here?
I
How?
wanted to let you know.
How does Cat?
I like
so her
that
name was
goal.
Caroline.
No, just current cat. She was from North Carolina, and she was
Carolina.
she was North
So
Carolina.
like, yeah, you
It
played
just triggered.
Caroline.
It reminded me of that. It
It
reminded me of that. Just all right. Yeah, as we were saying, you played Carol. Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
no,
I've
but,
done it
but
I just want you to know, people are gonna look at you on this podcast and be like, "Mel is a slut." I just want you to know that.
They probably think that about me in real life, and I'm not. It's
I mean,
just-
you are Guyanese. You're right. You're right.
Boy.
But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Man,
So,
I play.
you're
people tell
touring.
me I play small. I do, but it's not for.
I mean, I see
when
the
you-
humbleness.
when
I get it.
When you say,
I understand it.
yeah, I started this Caribbean. Matter of fact, I started this Caribbean.
What's
shit.
up? What's up? I started it.
no, but you know what?
What's
you know
next?
what? Rightfully Vlad. Regardless of what.
I mean,
Hold
you
on.
can, you can make it bigger. You
No,
can,
but that's where I take my, you take your path, your lane, or your trajectory or direction, and you go at your pace. You don't go
Yeah.
to appease anybody else.
Oh,
'Cause
no,
when
no,
you
no, no,
Start
no,
that.
yeah, nah.
That's where it becomes like, yo, this
Nah,
is
nah,
getting
nah, nah,
depressing,
nah.
man.
Yeah,
So,
nah.
I don't push it to where it's like, oh, this is great.
No,
Let it
but
be
that's
great.
humble.
But
That's
I-
humbleness in you,
but
and that's good. But
I want to use this platform that we're literally creating right now for people to know the awesomeness that we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it's not.
No more playing small.
It's not so much for you to have a big head about it, but it's just for people to know like, wow, this
where
dude is
you've come
doing
from,
great things.
Yeah, where you've come from.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but in my opinion, I still feel rightfully so. If it wasn't for you, the lane of itself that we're on, or that has been created through what you did and through what you did with your character and doing it digitally, it opened so many doors for a lot of people to do a lot of things and to create a whole new wave and world. Excuse me, I'm sorry with the mic. Create a whole new wave and world, and just it is the reality. It's the reality of it. You know what I mean? And I personally think you deserve the flowers that you get.
There you go,
Same
bro.
thing.
There
And
you
in my
go.
opinion, and
But
I-
are you mad when you don't get flowers?
no.
But when you do get
I was
flowers,
about
you
to get free
appreciate
I'm
it.
flowers.
mad.
I was
I'm
about to get- I was
mad when
about to get
I'm
free
mad when I
flowers.
don't get checks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I'll
but
take the flowers. I
That'll
like
be
the
another.
flowers.
That'll be another.
That's a whole nother.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
flowers is cool, but it also depends on who's giving you flowers. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole nother
If you
thing.
know somebody secretly don't like you or hate you, and they want to in a phony way give you flowers, that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? But we moving on a different timing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We moving on a positive energy, a positive vibe. Even though we still got to deal with this guy and all the pussy talk, but it is what. Oh, wrap it up. Damn, bro.
Pussy.
Well,
It's introduction. So introduction, we know who you are. We know
Yeah,
who
but
you
we
are.
still
We
didn't
know
get to
who I
the
am.
whole. How do you become a pastor? We can't close
in
before
between
that.
Okay, in between all that, you do all this. Comedian, and then people will ask you to do their weddings, or would you MC a wedding? I'm like, all right, cool, like your birthday. So they would ask me to do their wedding. So a lot of people were like, yo, he's funny at weddings. He's funny at weddings.
He was.
And I have a very good friend of mine, damn near raised me. He was getting married, him and his lady, and he was like, she actually thought it would be funny if you were the officiant.
pastor?
If you were the officiant.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, what? She's like, no, she thinks that you're funny and it would be, something to remember. I'm like, all right. So I went online,
Got ordained.
paid my $27.
Came in ordained minister. Do you have that?
Now I'm ordained.
Do you have that? Do you have that?
Okay.
Do you have that?
Okay.
So we're gonna also tell people what the intent behind this podcast and what we intend to bring to the podcast lane as well. I think what we're trying to create is a Caribbean, not based solely or per se, but Caribbean influencers and Caribbean influenced podcasts. You know, we're all first generation Americans. We all have that. You know, we're all caught in the middle of our culture and the society that we currently live in, and we're gonna bring that to the table. But we're also gonna talk about real things. We're gonna talk about black finance. We're gonna talk about sex. We're
definitely gonna have to talk about finance. We have to.
You're gonna teach us a lot. You're gonna steep us here in soca culture.
Boy.
You're gonna teach us a lot about, because you deserve your flowers too in terms of pushing soca.
Soca game is
pushing soca the way you push soca the way you do from your heart. Right now. You play it in your heart. It's in shambles?
Because there's no carnival.
No, not just. Damn. It's not because there's no carnival, but it's just that there's no unity in this fucking thing. Like, there's none.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because
I've had some
nobody.
I
know we got to wrap this up, but nobody. There's very few people. So out of 1,000 DJs, or let's just shorten it, out of 100 DJs, 15 of those guys are treating this thing like a true business.
In what regard?
Meaning, they have managers or they have booking agents, and they keep schedules. They are saving their money. They believe in they're structuring their finances and doing all these things. They pay for their insurance, their medical, and all these things. Build a 401k and do all these things that you need to do for yourself as
in order to be good
an entity.
When you're
there you go. Everybody else is treating this shit like a hustle.
Because there's so many.
It's a hustle because it is.
The other
easy,
DJs,
the opportunities are made easier. Cause it's such a the style of playing soca doesn't even. You don't even have to transition anymore. You just stop the record, say your thing, stop the record. Dude, listen here. All he got them, and your record is already set up. So the art of DJing, you don't even have to do anymore because it's just like, yo.
And nobody appreciates the art of DJing anymore.
I'm passionate.
Nobody truly
DJing.
Appreciates that anymore. So that makes it more difficult. But what do you think soca culture needs to do to take that next leap? It's already there, getting there, but take that next leap.
We need more people to buy into soca.
Meaning?
We need DJs that actually love soca, first of all. Okay. Right? We need DJs that actually love the genre. To actually spread it. We have so many DJs right now that say, well, fuck soca, I want to hear dancehall. There's nothing against dancehall. But why you had to say fuck soca? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm dealing with this so much. There's so many people around me, not closely, but in the business, that prefer to do something else than push their own thing.
Yeah.
And the irony about it is, soca is what's paying them.
Yo,
they're getting hired for soca.
It's a dope culture. You know
what I'm saying?
For me, I think the soca culture is what's been keeping a lot of, because dancehall, you damn sure ain't going.
It's not dancehall. Not where
like
it was.
Me, I enjoy a fucking dancehall party, bro. But it got to be a real dancehall safe party that you're really gonna be like. I can really dance here and not worry about if Rose Moscato bottles are gonna be thrown. So it's like.
I hear you.
That type of thing. Soca now, you're making carnivals in Jamaica, you're getting all this. So
wrap it up.
All right,
bro.
All right.
You ain't gotta be so